Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching our YouTube live event. And today we are going to be addressing SmartSuite introduction. So you've been upgraded with our free upgrade. As you know, all our upgrades have always been free for the last 35 years, and moving into the future, we don't see any reason to change that. They will always be free too. And so to help you embrace all the new features and functions, we will be running a number of very specific and very targeted training sessions on YouTube on how to use the new upgrades and how to benefit from all the features and functions of the new upgrade. So today we're going to cover adding, changing, and deleting a patron, adding, changing, and deleting a catalog record, doing SKIS cataloging, then of course printing spine labels, and the most important thing is overdues. How do I notify my patrons of their overdues? And there's many ways to do that, and SmartSuite makes it really easy, and it's very smart in the way it goes about doing it. So let's start with patrons. How do I add a patron, change a patron, delete a patron, find a patron? So to do that, everything starts with the menu button on the top left hand side. I call that the hamburger menu. It looks like a hamburger. If you've got a bit of imagination, just click on that, and then you come down to patron, and then you go to patron management, and this will bring up the patron record. And when it brings it up, if you are logged in as Johnny, it's going to come up as Johnny. If you're logged in as Sarah, it'll come up with Sarah. If you're logged in as administrator, it'll come up with the administrator. In this case, I'm logged in as Lib, and there's my record. Okay, now I can go to the bottom here, and there's all my command centers, all the things that I can do. And the top is the navigation, how I get from entering more and more information about myself into the system. So the first thing you need to do is the login. So if you want to enter a new record, you just click on new, and that'll give you a blank screen, and you start from scratch. And you enter as much or as little information as you like. When you go to save, if there's certain pertinent information that you did not put in and the system requires, it'll say, hey, tell me about this. So that's really easy. Okay. The next thing is, what about if I want to just change a record? So you just go find on the bottom, okay, and you type in the name. You can type in the surname, you can type in the barcode, you can type in the first name, you can type in just S for Sam, and it'll bring up all the people that have a surname or first name starting with S. You can go SM or SMI. So it's up to you. So in my case, I'm just going to go S and hit enter, and it'll bring up anyone that has a first name or a second name starting with S, and then I can just go ahead and choose the record, and up it'll come onto the system. Okay, now I can turn and say, well, I want SMI. So if you type in SMI, it'll bring up all the SMIs, and then you can choose, in this case, Andrew Smith, and his record will come up. Okay, and if you want to delete it, you just click on delete. Okay, and deleting users will delete, so it'll tell you any issues that it's going to have about deleting a person, and you can still choose OK. Now, while I've got this particular student up there, you can say, but I've got his photograph and I'd like to upgrade or upload his photograph. There are other ways of doing it, but if you just want to do one or two photographs, not a bulk photograph upload, save it on the computer that you're working on, and then just click the upload button. When you click the upload button, it'll bring up your My Computer. You go and find his photograph, and when you click it, it will, and click open, it will automatically upload it up here. Okay, so it's really simple to just do a one patron upload, especially if it's a new patron. But there are other ways of bulk uploading photographs as well. So if you want to do that, talk to us. When it comes to adding a patron, I'll just go new and the barcode of the patron. Now, entering a barcode and giving a patron a specific barcode is an old way of doing it. That's the traditional way of doing it. What we recommend is Why give him a different number that he already has? So why don't you put in his student number? So his student number is 10, 23, and 100. That's his student number. So you can just put his student number in there. That's the admin number. And that way, whenever you're talking to the student, you can, and you send overdues to the parents, it'll represent the same number that they get on all their invoices from the school. So you can make up your own barcode. You can choose your own barcode. You can say, no, we have a way of doing it, and our barcodes are going to be the first letter of his name and then his surname. And then if an M. Fernandez already exists, I'll make it a 1. Or if there's 3 Fernandez kids in there and they Mike, Marianne, and Mickey, you can go ahead and say, all right, so that's number 4. Okay, so you can put that in there. The next one is the username. Not important, you don't have to put him in. But if you want him to log in from outside of the school, so when he's at home, when he's on the bus, when he's traveling to do work, and if you've given him the school admin number, you can also give him a username. And that username can be something like MICHAEL, full stop, first name, full stop, surname, FERNANDEZ. Okay, so you can say, I'm going to make everyone's username their first name with a full stop and then their surname. And then they'll be able to use this to log in instead of this, or they can use that and or this. So it's not mandatory. They can use either. Okay, so his first name is Michael. His surname is Fernandez. And you don't have to put in an email address, but I'm going to do it. I'll show you why. mfern@saint.edu.au. So I'll put in his email address. So now when he's out of school and he wants to access the system, he wants to make reservations, wants to watch videos, wants to access homework, he can use his admin number, or he can use his username, or he can use his email address. It's entirely up to him. He can access the system by any one of those 3 areas. Now we need to go and tell the system what year level he is. So he's a year 11 student, and what homeroom? He belongs in the 11 homeroom, 11G. And his role is a student. And now I can just go save. Okay, Mike Fernandez already exists. Do you want to upload? No. So let me just go and put in Mike Fernandez 21. And so now when I go save, it'll say the password is not set. That's okay. So that's how you create a record. That's all there is to it. Obviously, if you want to give him access from outside of the school, he needs to have a password. My recommendation is click on change password, and you'll give him a password, and make the password a generic thing like password, 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 and PASSWORD to confirm the password, and go change password. So now what you can do is you can say, all right, Michael Fernandez 21, you can go and log into the system, and your password is password, and that's the same password for everybody. But you can say, no, I want him to create his own password. And if you want him to do that, you need to click on change password on next login. Okay, which means that when he logs in, he'll log in with password, and it will automatically prompt him to create his own password. And if he ever forgets it, you just come back here, change it back to normal password of password, and say change it on next login. Say, Michael, I've reset your password to password. Go and change it again. Okay, so that's how you can do it. What about the other information on here? So let's go and have a look at basic. Okay, it's not necessary to put any of these pieces of information in there. Okay, especially date of birth and specific identifying information. You don't need to do it. Okay, so in the advanced area, you need to say that they can borrow. Very important, because Otherwise, you've created a person and they can't borrow anymore. So you got to go there and then hit save. All right. In the TV for Education area, generally it'll be no like that. Okay. And if this person you put on wasn't a student and if they were a teacher, it's very important that you say that they can download and they can stream from TV for Education. Okay. Everybody can stream from the school's collection, but from TV for Education, you need to have a yes in there. So that's very easy. That's all you need to do. Now, let's go back into the login screen. Now, if this person was a teacher, it's very important that you make sure that their role is not a student. So get rid of their role as a student and then just click in there and allocate them. If they're a library staff member, you need to click library so that they can have cataloging and circulation rights and overdue rights and report running rights. But if they're a teacher, all your teachers should have a teacher's role. Okay, so you got teacher and then you'll just go save. And what that function does, it allows the teacher to have this button appear whenever they log in, and they can go to TV for Education and they can add, change or delete content. Okay. And that's all there is to adding a patron, changing a patron, deleting a patron, understanding how to put TV for Education rights onto teachers. We're now going to deal with cataloging. And of course, if you've gone and created a patron record and you want to catalog a book or a laptop or a poster or iPad, something that's not on SKIS, that's what we're going to deal with. We're going to call that manual cataloging or original cataloging. We're going to catalog something that's not on SKIS. So if you want to catalog anything that's not on SKIS, you go to your menu. Everything happens from that menu button. You click on catalog and then you just click on the catalog button. And the catalog record will always come up with one of the first records on your collection. Okay, and just like the patron screen, you can go next record, next record, next record, next record, and just scroll through all the records. You can go find a record, find, and what are you looking for? I'm looking for cat. Hit enter, and it will go and look for all the books with cat in it. You can go and say, look in all the fields. You can choose a call number or barcode or media type, but you don't have to select anything. If you put the word in here, it'll search everything, and then you just click on the title and up will come the catalog record. If you want to delete the catalog record, you just go delete the title, exactly the same as the patron record. And then you have to type in the word yes to confirm that you actually wanted to delete this catalog record. The problem with this, with deleting a catalog record, is that when you go into the copies area, if you've got all these barcodes on here, and if you go delete title, and providing that they're all available, nothing's on loan, if you click delete title, it will delete the catalog record and all the copies on the system. So if you meant to, no, I don't want to delete the catalog record, I just want to delete one copy. That doesn't say delete title, delete the entire record, copy. It says delete title. So deleting the title will delete everything. If you want to delete a copy, go into the copies area, find the copy that you want to delete, okay? And then you extend that, and that's where you would go delete. And when you go delete, it'll ask you, are you sure you want to delete this barcode? And then that will only delete that one copy. Okay, so deleting a copy, you need to be in the copies area to delete it, or if you're deleting a title, you need to just click down here. Right? So I've shown you how to find a record. Now that I've got my record on the screen, I want to change it. So if you want to change the record, you can change anything. So that's the author, the illustrator, the subjects, the series, the end. So if you want to change anything, if you go to subjects, just go to a blank line and type in what you want. So I'll go A&IM and they go animal communication. Yep, that's the subject I want. And I want a new subject. Mike's history collection. If it doesn't exist on the system, it'll say Mike's history collection is not in the subject list. Do you want to add this to the database? And I go, no, 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 no. I really didn't want to. I thought I was in the notes area. So you can just go and you can exit out. So to add new information, just go to a blank line in the area. So if you were in subject, you could go to a blank line in subject. If you were series, you go to a blank line in series. If you want a genre or an additional title, you just go to a blank line, and that's how you change your record. And no matter what changes you do, at the end of the day, you have to click save, and that'll save everything. Now you can say, well, you know what? I don't do the basic information and then author. I actually do the basic information, then I do the illustrator, then I do the author, then I do the copy information, which is the holdings information, then I do the notes. So if you say, I want to change the order of all of this, and that's really easy. You just go to the configuration button on the end, and every one of these will have a little hand. So if I go to the copy and I click on the hand on the copy, click it and hold it, then I can drag it to wherever I want. And when I drag it to wherever I want and I release my mouse, that's where it's going to be. So after that, I want author, illustrator, subjects, and then I want local subjects. So I click on local subjects and drag it to after subjects. And then I release it. Now I've got subjects, local. And now that I have that order, I can click save, and that's the way it's now saved. Okay, so you put in the information that you want and you put in the way you want it. And if you turn and say, yeah, but I don't like this tab, I liked it down the page like the previous version, that's no problem. Just click on this button up here on the right hand side, and that'll give you your data down the page in the order that it was for the tab buttons up the top. So that setting those tabs will also set the down the age lookalike. If you want to go back to it, you just click on the grid and that'll bring you back here. And adding, changing, and deleting a patron is exactly the same as adding, changing, and deleting a catalog record. There's no difference. You just have to remember, once you're finished and done with all of that, you need to click save, and that will save everything that you did. Okay, very, very easy. The next thing we're going to do is SKIS cataloging. SKIS cataloging is really simple. So I'm going to copy this ISBN number because I'm going to SKIS catalog that. I'm going to pretend that this book doesn't exist. So to SKIS catalog, you click in the barcode in the menu here, you go to catalog, and then you go to global catalog. We don't call it SKIS because we get bibliographic data from not just SKIS. You can get bibliographic from any Z3950 resource on top of SKIS or instead of SKIS. So you're not tied to one Z3950 supplier. You can go wherever you want and get bibliographic data. If you want to do that, talk to us and we'll show you how to set it up. But at the moment, I'm set up for SKIS. So I says, do you want to leave that record which I've changed? I go, yep, leave that page and take me to SKIS. And this is the SKIS cataloging screen. Now, what you can do is, if you have 10 books to catalog, and what you can do is you can put the location, the sublocation, the loan period, the renewal period, the copy status, the cost sent to the supplier, the cost of the first book, and then you just go in here and you just go ISBN number and then zap in the barcode. And then you'll put in the next ISBN number and then you zap in the barcode. You don't have to wait. Okay, you just keep going and then you enter the next ISBN number and then you enter the next barcode. And now when I'm going to put in an ISBN number that doesn't exist in the barcode to just show you what it does when the book does not exist on SKIS. Okay, so any of the books that exist on SKIS, it imports it, allocates the information that you put in here, and that's the end of it. You don't have to do anything else. It's done. Okay. And that's all there is to SKIS cataloging. It's super fast, really easy, and you're off and running. Now, the thing is, before you go, if you're a first-time user and you've just upgraded, you might want to set up what your default spine label is going to be. So before you go in catalog, the very first time, not every time you SKIS catalog, just once before you start using the system, you should come down here where it says configuration. It's not the configuration button, it's the up arrow next to it. You click on that and you go to the default spine label you're going to use, and you'll click on that button and there'll be a bunch of default spine labels that'll come up here. If you choose to use any of our default spine labels, you just click it, you go save, and then you just exit out and come back into SKIS again, and now the system knows what spine labels you're using. So all you'll do is you'll go ISBN barcode, ISBN barcode, ISBN barcode, ISBN barcode, and when you finish, you just go, I want to print my spine labels out. And what it will do is it'll print the spine labels in the order that you catalog them. And you can say, no, I don't want to print here. I actually want to leave 13 blanks because I am reusing my old spine label sheet and I've already used them. So you see how it's moved? So it's moved them all along and it started printing on number 14, and then you just go print. And that's all there is to SKIS cataloging and spine label printing. It literally is as simple as that. Now, if you've gone and you've done all your cataloging and you've done manual cataloging, how do I print my spine labels for all the manual books? Or I forgot to do these, I exited out, so therefore the system lost all the records that I had saved as spine labels, and I want to manually print them. You just click on the menu button, you go down to reports and to reports. And when you go into reports, you'll go down to spine label reports and you'll choose the spine label. Now, if your spine label is not here, my recommendations, go ahead and just buy a Rayco 12601 or 602 or 603, or ask us what other default spine labels we have. Now, yes, you might pay another $50 to just get rid of your old spine labels and grab new spine labels, but the benefit is you know that these spine labels will always work, they're configured, and you are never going to have a spine label problem again. So go ahead and click on the label that you're going to use, go open, and then you just zap in your barcodes. Just enter all your barcodes there and your spine labels will appear here, and you go generate and you just print them off. If you're going to leave blanks, you just leave 10 blanks or 2 blanks or whatever, and that's all there is to spine label printing. Very simple, very easy. Now you've been into circulation, okay, and you've circulated books. So let me just show you circulation very quickly. So you go on to the menu, you go to circulation and just go circulation. And this is the circulation screen. So basically you're automatically in the checkout mode. So you can enter the patron's barcode or their surname or their first name or the first character or first few characters of their name, and it'll come up. So if I go Smith, these are all the Smiths. I'm going to go to Andrew Smith. And if there's any reason why they can't borrow, it'll tell you, and you can override that and their loans will come up. Loans are in blue and white. Their overdues are in red. And if they claim they returned a book, it'll be in brown saffron color like that. But if you want to now borrow to them, you just zap in the barcode of the book. So patron surname or first name or barcode, then item barcode, next item barcode, then the next patron surname, and so forth and so on. If you want to now return books, you just click on return and you just zap in all their loans. Zap, 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 zap. Someone comes to borrow, click on loans, back into loans again. It tells you why they can't borrow, override. If someone wants to renew a book, you just put a tick in there and you click the renew button and that will renew. And if someone says, I'm going to be away for 6 weeks, can you please renew them for 6 weeks? You put a tick in there and I'll put a tick everywhere, not the claim return. Get rid of the claim return. And now you can put a date in here and say, all right, you can bring it back on the 26th of August. And now when you hit renew, it'll renew all these books to that particular date. If the patron says, the cat on the mat, I don't know if I have it. I don't think I even borrowed it. You can say, how about I send you a notice about this? So if you want to send them a notice about any of their loans, please choose. You can choose the current loans, or you can choose the overdue items. So when you click on overdue items, you choose whichever one you want and then choose that little icon. That's the report icon. When you click on that, it is now going to bring up the report icon for that individual patron for that one book. Okay, and that's what it's going to look like. And you can say, I want to send it. How do I send it? Just click the email address. You click the email address and specify to, and you'll put in, say, Jack, what's your email address? So you'll put in jack@stjosephs.com.au or jack@huntingtower.com.au or jack@glenwaverley.com.au, and then you just go send now. And you can say, but Jack, you can talk to me on the email if you don't have that book. So you can put in your email address there and then go send now. If you don't put an email address there, Jack will get an email with that overdue, and that overdue will just say that it's come from do not reply. Okay, but you need to put Jack's email address specified to in there, and that's how you can do the overdue for Jack from the circulation screen. Okay, now if Jack says, I'm leaving, can you give me a list of all my overdues, all my books? So instead of listing the overdues, you just click on that and the current loans. And then when you run that, that will run the reports for the current loans. It'll bring it up here. Okay, that's what it's going to look like. And then you just go email. It's exactly the same. Now, if you don't want to do overdues here for this individual, but you want to send the teachers the overdue notice, or you want to print all your overdues out, you just go to menu, you go to reports, and I'd encourage you to go in here and play. You'll love the reports module, and it's very, very powerful. So if I go to overdues by homeroom, so I'll just click homeroom and then just go open. Don't worry about any of these. I just choose, I want my year 6 overdues, and then go generate. Okay, and anyone that was in year 6, these are the overdues. So I can go email, put in the year 6 teacher's email address, and the subject will be, can you please talk to your kids about these books? And then you just go send now. And that's how you can do your overdues by homeroom. Okay, and if you choose to do overdues by classification or any other criteria, go in here and have a look at the overdues and play around. You can do by media type, by location, by sublocation. You can do by title. You can do anything you want. Okay, so it's very, very easy, very powerful, very flexible, and the amazing thing is you can't stuff it up. Thank you very much for allowing us to present SmartSuite and introduction. Thank you.